Imagine a single order coming from the most powerful person on Earth that could literally change the world in just a few hours. Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down today. The secret anatomy of a B-2 Spirit nuclear strike, all the way from the president's command to the final devastating moment of impact.
You might be picturing some dramatic, oversized red button in a briefcase. But the reality? It's actually way more subtle, and in a way, almost more chilling. So how does the world's most guarded procedure really get started?
It all begins with something that sounds, well, kinda harmless: the biscuit. No, it's not something you'd find in a kitchen. This is a plastic card, and it's always, always within arm's reach of the president. It holds what they call the gold codes, the one and only proof that a launch order is authentic.
All right, so here's our game plan for this explainer. First, we'll walk through that unbreakable chain of command. Then, we're gonna dive deep into the B-2 bomber and its incredible stealth tech. After that, we'll get up close with the B-61 smart bomb, unpack the physics that make it so powerful, and finally, we'll see how it all fits into the bigger strategic picture.
Okay, first up, the unbreakable command chain. This is all about the complex system of people and technology that makes sure an order from the White House gets to a B-2 cockpit securely and without a single mistake. The whole process unfolds with absolute clockwork precision. First, the president uses the biscuit to prove it's really them. That order then zips to the Pentagon's war room for instant validation. From there, U.S. Strategic Command, that's the nerve center for all of America's nuclear forces, crafts something called an Emergency Action Message, or EAM, and blasts it out across the entire globe.
And then, somewhere out there, thousands of feet in the air, a B-2 crew on high alert hears a crackle over their radio. A strange, coded message cuts through the static. Sky King, do not answer, followed by a long string of characters. For those pilots, that is the moment their entire world shifts on its axis.
But wait, they can't just act on that message alone. This is where the famous two-man rule kicks in. Both pilots have to independently verify that order. They unlock a sealed safe, take out their own authentication cards, and check them against the codes they just heard. Only when they're both 100% certain, and they make eye contact, does the master arm switch get flipped. So the order is real, it's authenticated. Now let's turn to the incredible machine that's going to carry it out. Section 2 is all about the B-2's Ghost Protocol. We're going to look at the mind-bending engineering that makes this bomber a true phantom in the skies.
Just look at how this thing is built for stealth. A normal airplane has that big vertical tail at the back for stability, right? Well, that tail is also a massive billboard for enemy radar. The B-2? It just gets rid of it entirely. It uses this super complex system of flaps and unique split rudders to steer, which helps it stay practically invisible.
The B-2's invisibility is like a masterclass in deception. Its entire skin is coated in special radar-absorbing paint. The engines are buried deep inside the wings, with these S-curved air inlets that hide the spinning fan blades from radar waves. It even cools its own exhaust to shrink its heat signature. It's basically a flying black hole.
And of course, a Ghost needs to be able to travel. The B-2 can hold 75,000 kilograms of fuel. Now, to put that into perspective, that's enough to fill 2 giant tanker trucks. It gives it the legs to fly thousands of miles deep into enemy territory and stay in the air for almost 2 whole days with refueling.
All right, let's talk about the payload. Section 3, the B-61. Now, it might be a gravity bomb, but don't let that fool you. This is one of the most sophisticated smart bombs ever created. Let's look at how it's delivered.
When you put the B-61 next to the other parts of the nuclear triad, its size is just wild. A Minuteman missile is as tall as a 6-story building, but the B-61 is only about 12 feet long. Its compact size is exactly why the B-2 can carry up to 16 of them on a single trip.
The actual delivery of the bomb is like a symphony of precision. First, the pilots dial in the settings, the explosive yield, and exactly how high up it should detonate. Then, the B-2 glides silently over the target. The ball bay doors snap open and shut in less than 5 seconds as the weapon is pushed out. As it falls, a guidance system kicks in, steering it. And finally, detonation at the exact pre-selected altitude.
Which brings up a really good question. If this thing is just a free-falling gravity bomb, how in the world can it be so ridiculously accurate?
Well, here's the secret. It doesn't just fall. The second it leaves the plane, little spin rocket motors fire, stabilizing it like a perfectly thrown football. Then, this advanced tail kit, which has its own brain and navigation system, takes over and actively steers the bomb to within just a few meters of its target.
So what actually happens in that final millisecond of detonation? Let's get right into the science of it. Section 4. How the bomb works. The incredible physics behind that fireball.
Okay, a thermonuclear explosion is really a two-act event. It all starts with the primary stage, which is basically the trigger. You have a perfectly symmetrical blast of conventional explosives that instantly crushes a core of plutonium, kicking off a powerful nuclear fission reaction.
Now that first fission explosion is huge, but its main job is to create and funnel an unbelievably intense pulse of X-rays down a special channel straight to the secondary stage. Those X-rays slam into a special foam casing, instantly vaporizing it into superheated plasma. This plasma creates an immense pressure that crushes and ignites the fusion fuel inside, setting off a thermonuclear fusion reaction. And that is the source of the bomb's almost unimaginable power.
And the result of all that physics? A fireball that's 900 meters wide. I mean, just try to picture that. That's nearly a full kilometer of searing hot energy. The scale of it is it's almost impossible to comprehend.
So that brings us to our final section. Why is this capability so critical? Let's zoom out and look at the big picture. The strategic knockout punch. This is where we see the B-2 in its true role as the very tip of the spear.
You see, the B-2 is the ultimate door kicker. It doesn't fly alone, it's the opening move in a massive, coordinated attack. As the first wave, its stealth allows it to sneak in and take out an enemy's most advanced air defenses. That clears a safe path for the second wave, the B-1 Lancers, to come and handle the older systems. And with the skies now basically wide open, the third wave of B-52s can sweep in and hit everything else with very little opposition.
And all of this leaves us with one final, very big question. A piece of technology this precise, this powerful, and this invisible, is its main purpose to be the ultimate weapon? Or is its real power in being the ultimate deterrent? A capability so overwhelming that its very existence helps make sure it's never ever used at all.